Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the Console Gaming League preseason. We have an exciting Tier 4 matchup for you this evening between Danny Defeato and ArcFlash. I am Bull Skunk, casted alongside ChefBilly here this evening. Billy, how you doing, man?
What's going on, everybody?
It's good to be here, good to be here. We will be starting off on Nepal here for our preseason map. If we take a look at the map pool here, get a sense of what maps you'll be seeing here for this evening. This is going to be, we'll play 4 maps, despite if you get a 3-0, we're going to go ahead and play that 4th map just in case. We do, of course, go to the 5th map if we do have a tie. Billy, tell me a little bit about this Danny Defeato team. We seem to know a lot about this team. Well,
I was a former member of Danny Defeato for their Tier 1 team back in Season 6 of the MTT here in CGL. Burr and the rest of the guys I'm very close with. Great group of guys. Won Season 6, Tier 3 NA. They were the champions of Tier 3. A lot of new faces coming in. There's a lot of old familiar faces also coming in. They made a decision in the offseason to go ahead and move up to Tier 4. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see some of my best buds here in the CGL, both personally and game wise, playing today. ArcFlash, we have a little bit less information on their Tier 4, but I think that we're going to get a very, very massive education in on ArcFlash Academy tonight. As you know, I see some names in there that I do actually recognize right now as in passive teammate. I've heard of Lucy Bro, so I think this is going to be a very good map. I do have the ready up from both teams, so I'm going to send it over to you, Bull, and we can go ahead and head in.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, we will head into Nepal here for our control map, our starting map this evening. Danny Defeato. We'll be looking at their strong tank line tonight, see if they can maintain that dominance that they showed us during the offseason, during their Tier 3 run last year. But like Billy was saying, ArcFlash not so active in the offseason, not very familiar with this roster, so we're excited to see what they bring to the table here. Without further ado, let's head into map 1.
I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup here. I think that it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's basically the tank line of Dan Defeato versus the unknowns of ArcFlash T4. I don't really have much information on them, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table. Tank line is going to be a passive teammate Lucy Bro. Tragic Event and Real Rich are going to be, I guess they've switched up their roles here. We're going to have to go ahead and take a look at this as we go along. However, on the other side, for Danny Defeato, Nitch and Zen on the Doomfist, and Symmetra, Juhan, and Major X Nova on carrying the tank line, and Basic and Burr bringing up the support line.
I think it is important to note here that we are working off of hero bans coming out of comp this week, so there will be no Reinhardt in play here this evening. You also don't see any Moira, you won't see any Ana, and of course we will not see that Reaper either. Danny Defeato getting first presence here on the objective. May coming in, throwing a nice wall here from ArcFlash, trying to block off their retreat as the rest of the team comes through the front line, put some pressure down. So far, no blood coming through from either team. Good rock comes on to Nick. He's able to fall back behind the safety of his shield. Another May wall coming up, and they're able to finally get that kill on Nick. Draw first blood here on the side of ArcFlash. Zen answered right back, though. And it's going to be a 5v5 here on this objective. Lucio missing. Oh, and both healers go down here for ArcFlash. Their Arisa goes down and well. And this is going to be Danny Defeato getting first capture started for us here on Nepal.
Yeah, I mean, great walls coming out from Red Eye Goat there. But I think that the aggression coming from Danny Defeato, just pressing around the wall there, taking out both supports. That was an absolutely crucial first push there. Zane popping off with a couple of kills there on the Doomfist, taking out the May. And that was absolutely great there. Capture percentage going in favor of Danny Defeato right now.
20% on the board and counting. ArcFlash are coming back here with that Deadeye. They've got the amplification matrix ready to go as well. We'll see how they choose to utilize these ultimates to try to find an opening here. A little poking and prodding. They're going to throw the amp matrix down early. Deadeye's coming out right there with it. Members of Danny Defeato able to retreat back, just get out of that LOS. And now they're going to push back in, throw shield to the mix, see if they can hold off this assault. stepping on the point just in time to deny that cap. And Major Nova coming through big with a nice gravitic flux. And now he's just hunting down the rest of the members of Arc Flash. Danny Defeato holding on strong here.
Yeah, a couple of first good points that they ended up waiting out the amplification matrix thrown out by passive teammate, and then it was just game on from there. Major Nova with a huge gravitic flux, picking up 3, taking 1 and a kill in the slam of it coming down from that gravitic flux, and then a couple of stones and hydrospheres to the face, and it was all she wrote.
Well, now we're going to be coming back with the gravitic flux on their own here for Arc Flash. They're going to also have that supercharger online and ready to go here before too long, as well as a sound barrier from the Lucio. So they have the tools to make it happen. We'll see how they choose to engage. Doomfist trying to find something there in the back line. Little clever move coming from Zen, trying to find that off angle. And now it's going to be Danny Defeato throwing down an Ant Matrix of their own. But Blizzard comes out from the other side, as well as the gravitic flux and the sound barrier. All 3 thrown in here from Arc Flash. But Danny Defeato weathering the storm, surviving the onslaught, and finding the kills of their own despite everything that's coming at him. And Danny Defeato holding on tight here.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy, the amount of damage that was just thrown in there by Arc Flash. They just all pressed Y, and a very, very providential immortality barrier thrown out by Burr around the outside did not get affected by the gravitic flux, so he had everything kind of taken care of. Not enough killing damage to come in, so one last push here coming from Arc Flash Academy.
And they're making this swap to the far. I'm not quite sure what the thinking is behind that. Maybe try to avoid that Doomfist a little bit. I'm worried that they're not going to be able to find those kills, though. Although, with that said, Doom coming up with a good pick onto the Baptiste, but they have lost 3 in this process. And with the overtime Wicca burning, they are low on reinforcements, and the hopes are dwindling here for Arc Flash.
Absolutely, and right now, there's a big battle going on between Zen and the Pharaoh Mercy combo of Red Eye Good and I'm Lucy Bro, and I tell you what, he just absolutely laid into them, and there was nothing they could do to take care of that. That is a very quick take there, 100 to 9%, I believe it was, for Danny Defeato, and that it was absolutely smashing coming from the side of Danny Defeato, and the tank line once again. They seems to be the heroes all the time here for Danny Defeato, but the support line, Basic, coming up big with a lot of amp matrices there, amping, the heals up, speeding his people around where they need to go. There are the unsung heroes right now. So 1-0 here in Nepal going into Sanctum.
Doesn't look like we're getting much comp change out of either team. Zen going to go ahead and go over to the McCree. Danny Defeato sticking with that Symmetra. They're going to try to get early toes here on this point once again and get that early advantage. On the other side, we are getting the May and a Widowmaker coming out from Arc Flash here. See if they can lay down the fire here from long range.
Yeah, it looks like Lucy Bro is trying to do a little bit of a high ceiling skating there, trying to get a little bit of maybe a cheeky boop there, but I don't think it's going to work.
Well, a good headshot from the Widowmaker on Arc Flash, able to aid and get Juhan out of there. The main take down is going to make life a little bit easier here at Arc Flash, but they certainly don't have it wrapped up just yet. As a couple kills come through. Oh, as I say that, 3 kills light up the feed there for Arc Flash. The tank line doing work, and it looks like they'll get this thing started off for us. Danny Defeato not able to get progress started.
No, that was absolutely huge coming from the Real Rich on the Widowmaker from the left-hand side as you look at it on the point. He was clicking heads. There was actually a pull from Cubo, and he pulled the Lucio Basic into the sights of Real Rich, and he clicked that head faster than you can say thank you.
Now Zen going over to a Widowmaker zone to try to counter that back, and does indeed win the duel right out of the gate, making his presence known. Nick going over to that McCree. That means they have reset their DPS ultimates, but Zen popping it off on this Widowmaker right out of the gate, finds 2 quick kills, 2 quick headshots, and this will be Danny Defeato picking this thing right back up.
Yep, just a little bit of cleanup to do here. Lucy Bro is getting some nice contests there, but Zen takes him out. Oh my goodness, that is 4 for Zen there in just that engagement alone. Huge swap over for Zen coming onto the Widowmaker.
Now we got Arc Flash coming back. They will be coming up on a few ultimates, but still about 20 to 25% away from the majority of them. So they need to play a little slow here, try to build those online, make a good assault. We'll see if Danny Defeato can shut him down before that happens. Looks like they're going to path in through this right-hand side. Holt's coming out. Sigma not able to follow up on that, though. Danny Defeato kiting back a little bit, going to go all the way back to point. Try to avoid this May that's pressing on top of him. Ant Matrix comes out from Arc Flash as they look to press onto the objective. Now we're getting one out from the other side. Dueling windows, one on top of it, and a nice boom comes from the Lucio there. Major Nova gets the final blow credit. I believe it was the Lucio who did most of the work there in the name of Basic. Either way, this brawl. Oh my goodness. Lucy Bro, excuse me. And then Real Rich doing his part. And what a back and forth. Arc Flash getting this thing flipped right back over here after some cleanup.
Yeah, I thought that was a done fight after the. The cleanup job there, going from Basic and Nova there. He got the credit for the kills, but I think the poop was all his. But Real Rich coming in strong again with the Widowmaker. He's going kind of uncontested there on the left-hand side. His positioning right now is absolutely superb.
Well, and then Lucio Bro coming up with a couple of good kills of his own, able to throw some people off the side and into the pit. Now we're going to get this Deadeye coming out from Nick on the side of Danny Defeato. Wall goes down. Oh, and the headshot is ready for him. Real Rich shutting him down with a quickness. Now man down. Danny Defeato not dissuade. They're going to go ahead and try to push on here. Good Rock comes on to the May. But without a big source of damage and without finding an opening, they're forced to just kind of stall out here on the steps. We'll see how they choose to push in. Supercharger going to be used, see if we can help find an opening. But Blizzard comes out from the other side. Soundbite, you're there from Basic. Try to keep Danny Defeato in this. Zen finds a kill. It is just a back and forth slugfest here. We'll see who emerges victorious.
This is absolutely a slugfest, and Niche needs to start clicking some heads here. Zane is doing it for him, though. Major Nova also getting a kill on the tragic event there. This is a very, very tense fight. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a recontest by Lucio, bro. Woo!
Zane on this Widowmaker comes with another 4 kills, putting this team on his back. That poor Widowmaker's back must be hurting right now. That was some excellent shooting coming out of Zen. My goodness.
I mean, you got to put it out there. If I believe right, LaCroix was a ballet dancer, so she's very flexible.
This is true. This is true. Now Arc Flash coming back in with a amplification matrix here. They're going to have Supercharger coming up as well, so a lot of damage will be coming out here on Arc Flash as they're looking to retake. They're going to go ahead and throw that amp matrix down early. They're going to go ahead and use Lamp with it as well, investing all of Baptiste's cooldowns. That's going to prompt Lamp to come out from the other side, and a Gravitic Flux comes out from Major Nova, finding himself several, and that Zen able to pick him out of the sky like shooting clay pigeons in the air. And Danny Defeato are holding on here. Our Arc Flash can have time to get back.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to have time for the recontest. I think they got to pull out a ball or something speedy to get them there. 96, 97 on the clock right now. There may be time for the recontest. Oh, huge!
Not
quite
able.
That was a huge flashbang coming from Nick there. Oh my goodness. Back and forth action there, ladies and gentlemen. They took it 2-0. Definitely not indicative of what was going on there with the with what was going on the screen.
We'll be back with map 2 in just a few moments. Y'all don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, my friends. We are here with map number 2 with our Tier 4 showcase between Danny Defeato and Arc Flash. Map 2 is going to be Blizzard World here this week. Billy, what are your thoughts on map 1? Danny Defeato with a 1-0 lead. Look pretty confident. What can Arc Flash do to bounce back here?
I think the swaps that they made there on Sanctum, their DPS really started to shine. Lucy Bro started to kind of take over the match there halfway through, and I think that they've got the tools in the belt in the belt ready to go. I'm just waiting on readies from Danny Defeato right now, and looking for the next map.
It was a pretty exciting sniper battle there on Sanctum. It's awesome to see the Widow v Widow. And we had Zen there with some killer shots, man. He had 2 engagements where he had 4 kills in both of those engagements and helped Danny Defeato to really take that. But, I mean, Arc Flash was no slouch on their own on their side either.
Absolutely incredible coming from both sides. Danny Defeato showing their class there, going up 1-0, taking Nepal in 2-0 fashion. Coming out here from Arc Flash, I think continuing with the sniper play may be the play for them. Even though aggressing here on the first point of Blizzard World is absolutely sick. And, you know, if a snipe gets set up for Danny Defeato, it could be lights out very quickly for them. So I think positioning, I think a little bit of extra aggression. I think that's why the Sanctum was so close, is that they actually started aggressing a lot more, using the amplification matrix from passive teammate very aggressively, and using also the immortality barrier in conjunction with it. Got a lot of kills for them, so I think we're going to look forward to the same thing here.
And with the double barrier comps we're seeing, it is so important that they get the DPS, find those openings, find those angles. And they're going to be coming in with the McCree Hanzo on the side of Arc Flashes. They're going to be attacking first here on Blizzard World. We'll see if they can find the angles they need to open this thing up. Danny Defeato holding way back, very defensive posture. And it is going to be Real Rich coming up with the first kill, winning the duel against his counterpart. Zen on the other side, 2 more kills to follow that up. And this is going to be a quick point A here for Arc Flash.
Yeah, that's the aggression that I was talking about actually came through there. I think a little bit of a misstep, maybe a little bit of uncoordinated movements there. I also did not get the ready from Danny Defeato there. I think I may have caught them a little bit with their pants down, so I do apologize. A little bit of scuffness there. I apologize, guys. I'm so sorry. But you know, it is what it is, and I'm sorry.
Hey, moving on. Danny Defeato certainly strong enough to overcome that kind of deficit. No big deal, as we do have the Supercharger coming online for Arc Flashes. They're coming on into the start of Streets phase here. Deadeye not too far behind that. On the side of the defense, Danny Defeato coming up on that Sigma ultimate. And they are holding here so far, not giving up an inch. Big Mac's going to go ahead and drop that Gravitic Flux into the mix. Supercharger coming out from the other side, and a Deadeye counterpunching from Arc Flash as well. 2 kills lighting up the feed for the offense. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and push this thing right on through.
Yeah, absolute aggression coming out from Arc Flash there. You know, they basically took the Gravitic Flux in their stride and just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and Deadeye around the side of it because you didn't get me in it. And yeah, I mean, pure aggression coming from Arc Flash Academy, or Arc Flash right now, and this is looking to be a very quick take on Blizzard World.
Yeah, just under 4.5 minutes on the clock, and they haven't even gotten that second point yet. There it is on the board, in just under 6 minutes, as once again Arc Flash lighting up that feed. Red-Eyed Goat on that Orisa, showing us what he can do on that horse.
Yeah, and I think in conjunction, once again, passive teammate using that amplification matrix as an offensive weapon to go ahead and clear space for his tanks. You know, the damage coming out from that is just so amplified, and they're just absolutely tearing through the Streets phase right now here on Blizzard World on the attack for Arc Flash Academy.
Well, heading into the final stretch, and a lot of ultimates to work with as they're coming around this first bend. 4 of them are online and ready to go. Rock comes in. John gets stunned, but he's able to counter back. He's going to go and throw that Gravitic Flux in the mix. Finds one with that as the Risa was able to ford out. Big Mac's falling back into the safety of his healers, and 2 kills coming through for the defense. Lord does strike back, find one of his own, and it is a 5v4 favoring the defense. Make that a 5v3 as Danny Defeato getting aggressive, cleaning this thing right up, finally getting their feet planted here on Blizzard World.
Yeah, that was a serious amount of aggression right there. I think that the zoning ult coming from Zen there was what was needed there. It kind of healed and kind of stopped the pure aggression coming out from Arc Flash Academy. And then Orange Cowboy on the Brigitte right now was absolutely tearing into them.
And with all of those ultimates spent, now Arc Flash looking a little drained. They had a ton of opportunity to come in here, a ton of weapons to come in here with, but they got no value out of it. And now Big Mac's coming through with another Gravitic Flux, finds himself several with that, and walls there to deny the retreat coming out of Arc Flash. Danny Defeato looking in full control here on point C.
Absolutely. I mean, that is absolutely massive coming out. I mean, you know, the alt bank was just dry, overdrawn, if you even want to say, because I think they kind of try to beam it all the way in there. And Danny Defeato was ready to go. They've got their feet planted. I don't think they're going to move anywhere here for a little bit. So, you know, it's going to be a battle of the ultimate alt economy here. You know, looking at it, Slimy does have his Blizzard online. So let's see what happens here.
Supercharger coming out from the offense as they go turn that corner, and the Blizzard is right there, just as you called. And a wall to prevent the retreat, but that didn't stop Real Rich from dropping a 3-man Deadeye into the mix. Holy cow. Woo! Deadeye finding its mark, and that's going to allow them to push right on up, claim some space here. They are content with just riding the point, playing a little conservative on the side of the offense, as they just have that window to work with for this last engagement. They're going to go in through that window down early. High Noon comes out from the other side. No kills coming through for the defense. And it looks like Danny Defeato able to fall out of the LOS of that amplification matrix. Oh! I spoke too soon. Zen goes down. Monkey goes down as the Orisa from the offense finds the kill through that damage window. They are going to get the res onto the Orisa, but it's still a one-man advantage here for the defense. As Big Mac strikes back. Trying to equalize here. Finds himself one, but they lose their mercy. And without their mercy, things are going to be extraordinarily difficult. Can they overcome? Big Max is going to throw a Gravitic Flux in the mix. Try to see if they can get back on top here. That is going to get the kill onto the Baptiste, and it looks like they might have done it. What great heroics coming out of Danny Defeato.
Oh, man, what an absolutely stunning turn of events there. Big Gravitic Flux coming out of Big Max there, and the support line is absolutely shoring them up as it's going along. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the time bank there. They are looking very good. They kind of spent a little bit of their time bank there, but I think a couple of moves were needed there to get them back into the swing of things. Zen swapping over to the Widowmaker. So
Real Rich, going over to a Pharah here. I guess trying to rule the sky, see if they can control the positioning of Danny Defeato a little bit and get behind that double shield comp. We're going to get a Tire coming out. Tire finds two, including the Mercy and that Widowmaker. Two-man advantage, no res here for the defense. Defensive Tire comes out from the other side. Slimy able to find one. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Supercharger comes out from the offense, and the pressure is on here for Danny Defeato. Tanks both going down with a quickness as Lord comes up with 3 big picks, finding another kill onto that Mercy. $1:30 on the clock. Install starting to come through for Danny Defeato, but it will not be enough. 1:22 left in the time bank here for Arc Flash.
Yeah, I think that there at the end, it was just a matter of just pushing really, really strongly. And yeah, it was absolutely nutty there from Danny Defeato.
Initiating match.
Well, now we're going to get Arc Flash on the defense here. Hoping that great attack will be enough. Help them tie up this matchup. What are your thoughts on Blizzard World as a whole?
I think it was a little bit of a little bit of caster error there. No, I think that just the pure aggression that was coming out from Arc Flash Academy there caught Danny Defeato off guard as opposed to what they were dealing with on Nepal. That was a spearheaded charge coming from Arc Flash Academy. You know, the composition that they had going on was absolutely meant to brawl. And I think that they caught Danny with their pants down a little bit. And, for Danny Defeato, coming out here on their own, time to see what they can do.
Arc Flash on the defense. Going to use the double sniper. But Danny Defeato, think they're going to try and take a page out of Arc Flash's book on the offense as they have that Doomfist in their lineup. Ghost Slimy perhaps looking to get in that backline, see if he can put some aggression on of his own. Do some disruption. Well, the gates are open. Danny Defeato's attack round underway here. Looks like they're going to path right up through Main Street. Not looking for anything too fancy here. This is going to be a matter of solid teamwork and who can get this opening pick. Can Danny Defeato make it past the pick comp of the McCree and the Hanzo coming out of Arc Flash? All right. Looks like they're going to go and take this long path around. Look at this path here from Danny Defeato. Going all the way around to the backside. All right, now we're getting shield to shield as the teams are going to go ahead and start fire clash around this back choke entering point B. Looks like Danny's slowly trying to close the space. Ghost Slimy on the Doomfist, not getting too aggressive. Just taking what is right in front of him. Now he's going up into the high ground. Nope, just sticking with the team. Oh, he's whittled down low. Eating a shot from Real Rich there on the Hanzo. What does Danny Defeato need to do here to open this up? So far, it looks like a stalemate to me, Billy.
Yeah, it's definitely a stalemate looking from it right now. I think they need to go ahead and path around all the way around. Maybe get a flank from one of their from Zen. Maybe go up on the high ground, or either Ghost Slimy trying to get a providential pin into one of the supports. Because right now the stall game coming from Arc Flash Academy is absolutely nutty.
Yeah, their defense looking super strong here. As you can see from Danny Defeato's ultimates, they're not able to get much done here. Oh, over $130 already taken off the clock. And Ghost Slimy only 55% towards his Meteor Strike. Now Real Rich, drawing blood, lands the arrow true into the head of the Orisa. And it does look like Arc Flash has tilted the balance here, and the defense will hold on for another chance.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a big ask right now, even though Big Max does get a kill off onto the passive teammate right there. I think that, interesting rotation coming from Danny Defeato there. However, I think a little bit more tradition coming out for them will be good. I think maybe the swaps, I think maybe a Tracer here might even be something good. Even though you do have the abilities from Lord Naze and from to stun the Tracer, I think that it could be a very good pick for them right now.
Yeah, you'd have to work around the McCree, but I like what your thinking is. Something to disrupt them, because right now Arc Flash's defense, they are dug in. They look bolted up, and they don't look like they're going anywhere. As a matter of fact, here comes a big set of dragons right across the breadth. That is Danny Defeato taking out the Orisa, taking out the Brig. Now, they are going to get that res onto the Orisa, but that means that Mercy was not available to keep those DPS topped off, and they lose them both. And that is going to be Danny Defeato back to the drawing board.
Absolutely nutty.
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 Ghost Slimy just coming up on that first Meteor Strike here. And I hadn't even got a chance to use one ult. I can't help but feel something's got to change. Danny Defeato's, I think they're being a little stubborn. Okay, here come the changes. We're getting some dive.
Yeah, dive from Danny Defeato. I haven't seen it for almost a year. So this is going to be absolutely interesting for me to see. I think that getting that a massive amount of pressure coming in is going to be what may turn the tide.
Well, an early rally coming out. Try to armor up that team, see if they can overbuff them as they're looking to push in here. They got to watch out for the McCree on the high ground, and here comes the Winston. He's going to dislodge it there. Oh, he's down to 43 health. My goodness. Mercy able to get in there just in time to keep him topped off, and Ghost Slimy finally throwing that AKM Meteor Strike into the mix. Here it goes. He gets the punch, and it is actually going to serve him well. Deadeye coming out from the other side, trying to counter punch back, but I don't know the defense is going to be able to hang on. Now, with that said, Real Rich coming up with a kill. Lord Naze coming up with another one of his own. And indeed, the defense edging it out here in the final seconds. We got a time game here, Billy.
Absolutely batty coming from Arc Flash there. The defense was absolutely stunning. The support line for Arc Flash Academy, probably the carry here for them, as they were just able to keep the sustain up on to their tank line and DPS line. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy how much healing they were putting out there. Big plays coming from the horse, Red Eye Goat for Arc Flash Academy, and we are tied 1-1. We will be right back with map 3 as soon as we return.
Welcome back, my friends. We are here with Season 7 of CGL's multi-tier tournament. This preseason matchup between Danny Defeato and Arc Flash is all tied up here in the half. Looked like Danny Defeato was in absolute control map 1. Arc Flash striking back in map 2 with some absolute dominance. Big full hold there on Blizzard World. Billy, what are your thoughts going into map 3? Who's going to get the edge?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a serious amount of aggression coming from Arc Flash there. You know, I want to say, you know, the way that they moved in on point 1, I had a feeling that it could have snowballed. But I thought that Danny Defeato had gotten their feet set a little bit on the streets phase there in Blizzard World. But, you know, an awesome play coming out from Real Rich with the Deadeye catching 3 out in the middle of a gravitic flux.
Yeah,
I think caught Danny Defeato by surprise. So, you know, it is what it is. Preseason is time for them to get their feet together, get their stuff together, and figure out, you know, these little minor hitches that are going to come out during this time. Having a little bit of a connection issue on my end. I'm hearing a little bit of echo here and there, but you know, the play coming out from Danny Defeato, that stall there on the last point there was inspired. I just think that, you know, maybe it was a compositional pick. I think running the Brigitte right now is
it's tough with those two, with Ana and Moira both banned out. Man, I think it's throwing a wrench into everybody's game plan. Present is France.
Oh, I wonder if we're going to see a Bastion here.
Would surprise me. Would not surprise me in the slightest, especially on the side of the defense. I think that would just prompt more dive if it were me. We could also see some double spam. It wouldn't. Yeah, as Nick is coming out on the far there right out of the gate. Of course, plenty of time to change his mind there on the side of the offense. And look at that, Lord Nays pulling out our favorite Gatling gun hero with the Symmetra. Look at the big brain on Billy.
Incoming.
And a damage boosted one to boot.
With the Mercy. Yep. So this is going to be an absolute, very stalwart defense here. This is going to be very tough, I think, for Danny Defeato breakthrough. We'll see how they choose to approach. Looks like they are opting for some dive tanks here, as we are seeing the Winston and the Diva in the tank department.
5, 4,
Doomfist and the aforementioned Pharmacy to help round that out.
attackers.
Gates are open. Map 3 has begun. Looks like Nick will go ahead and use the little roof opening on this left-hand side, put some pressure down onto that high platform, maybe try to dislodge the members of Arc Flash there a little bit. Meanwhile, back on the front line, looks like the tanks are just content to sit here, bide their time. They're waiting for that perfect opportunity to strike. And I think they are waiting for Nick on that as he has fallen down into the front. Slowly they're edging closer and closer, and here comes the assault. Lord Nace is ready for it, takes the far right out of the sky. Now he's able to turn his attention onto that front line. Diva gets demeched, despite the res coming through onto the far without their Diva. I think this dive is going to struggle.
Yeah, I think that's a superior amount of positioning there coming from Arc Flash, and I don't know if they're going to have enough to aggress into it, even though Slimy is just getting into their faces. That may be just an absolute waste of his life there.
Yeah, I think they really needed to wait till they got that Diva back in mech, because that DM is going to be instrumental in them being able to find some room and close the gap on that Bastion.
Now, here a little bit interesting, though. They do have the Immortality, and it has already been taken down.
Ooh, and Lord Nays coming up with another good pick. Juhan goes down. And with just 2:45 on the clock, so far the defense of Arc Flash looking super strong. Danny Defeato will find the res onto the Winston there, as he's just going to hide just below the high platform, wait for the rest of his team to regroup.
Yeah, and you see a swap out here coming from Nick onto the Genji instead of the Pharmacy. Burr still sticking with the Mercy, though, for that concentrated healing. This may be just what they need.
I don't know about running the Genji without the on is a difficult proposition, but here they come. They're piling it on. They're going to use that Primal Rage to open things up, and open things up they do. 2 kills on the board. The Diva gets demaxed, but I think in the end it will be Danny Defeato getting point A on the board here. Pretty good time bank to boot.
Yeah, I mean, that was a serious amount of aggression coming from there. I think the res coming in onto the Juhan there, and him popping Primal Rage dislodged them enough that Big Max and the DPS were able to get in there and get their job done. 4:45 on the time bank going here onto point B. Still sitting with the Bastion, so that is an interesting play to keep him here. Despite what was going on before, and Slimy does have his Meteor Strike online. So let's see what we got here.
I'm looking at the ults here, and I think Danny Defeato has the ability to snowball. We'll see if they're able to find the early opening pick and get this thing done. They're going to start off by killing Lucio Bro, and that is a great start for Danny Defeato here on the offense. Now the cleave coming through, and Arc Flash just caught in this corner, getting tased down. That lightning striking everybody on the team of Arc Flash, and they don't stand a chance. They got to try to ride out in the open, but they're just running into too much damage. And Danny Defeato coming out with a vengeance here on the offense. That's 2 ticks. There comes the third, and with just under 4 minutes on the clock, a lightning fast assault. What an attack. What an attack. My goodness.
Defeato there. Woo! Solid moves coming from the dive there of Danny Defeato. That is absolutely nasty. That is something you don't want to see, is that Tesla cannon coming at your face. And woo! Man, what a move coming in from Winston via Juhan, and Burr giving a little bit of damage boost there in the end too. And Ghost Slimy on the Doomfist, cleaning heads. Yeah, that was just what the doctor ordered.
That was indeed, and what perfect positioning. They were able to read the situation like a book. Danny Defeato surrounding the members of Arc Flash, getting that important high ground, finding the important kill on the Baptiste. And then once they were surrounded, Arc Flash just had nowhere to run, and they could not escape the wrath that was Danny Defeato. 3:59 in the time bank, and now Danny going on the defense, hoping it's going to be enough take the lead here in our preseason matchup.
Yeah, and looking at the defense coming out from Danny Defeato, you've got Juhan on the trusty Orisa getting that nice permanent shield. Slimy coming out on the Junkrat. Nick coming out on the Ashe with a little bit of spam damage with the Dynamite. Big Max coming out on the Sigma. He's been playing pretty big when he was been in on the Sigma and also on the Diva. Cowboy and Burr rounding out the defense with a immortality barrier and a res available to them should they need it.
On the offense, we're getting those dive tanks coming in. We'll see if they can find the position they're looking for. Have the same success that Danny Defeato brought to the table on their assault. Once again, just waiting here patiently at the front door for the right moment to go in, for the invitation to present itself. Oh, but there's no invitations. It's just a metal trap spiked and free and catching the monkey out of position. That's going to enable Nick to find a kill. No bubble there to save that Doomfist. And a good defense to start us off here from Danny Defeato.
Oh, we've got a sneaky going on. Sneaky going on.
Where's he going?
I lost him.
Flink coming through from the offense. Not sure where he ran off to, but now they're going to try to converge onto this high platform. But they're going to lose their Diva mech here in the process. Danny Defeato doing a good job of controlling the chaos. Focus Fire coming through as they try to put their attention on the Genji. He's able to dash out, but they do find the Doomfist. Now they lose Nick to the Winston. But it looks like there are more red jerseys standing than blue here. They're going to chase him back into this room with the Mega Health Pack to clean things up. And it's defense from Danny Defeato holding on tight. 2:45 on the clock.
Yeah, that was absolutely great positioning, great peel back, going back onto the point to deny any kind of capture progress. Big pick coming out in the beginning of that from Cubo onto Niche on the Ashe, but it was not enough for them to aggress fully onto the point.
Now, coming up on a Primal Rage, Soundbarrier not too far behind. Lord Ney is making a swap over to the Tracer, trying to find more value. They're able to get out of that. Oh! And the three-man tire comes through and single-handedly runs over the offense of Arc Flash. Oh, man. What a play.
Slimy, come forth, young man. Come forth.
Take a bow, sir. That was a fantastic ultimate coming out of our Junkrat. And the Winston on the other side, not able to get up towards that Primal Rage. They do still have the Soundbarrier online, but Danny Defeato doing a great job of denying any progress here. Really minimizing the impact coming out of Arc Flash.
Yeah, a little bit of a different turn here, throwing out the Gravitic Flex here, but only catching one in it.
Nevertheless, it got the Soundbarrier out of Lucy Bro, as Arc Flash is going to try to move on to the objective. They got to get past this this amplification matrix on the side of the defense. Arc Flash throwing the Diva Bomb in, finds one, but they're already down their main tank. They're already down one of their DPS. They're going to try to equalize back. Tragic Event in particular trying to swing this thing back as it is a 5v4 here on the objective, favoring the defense. Good kill onto the Genji coming from the Ashe. And this defense from Danny Defeato, man, they really finding their stride. The focus fire on point, holding on strong once again.
60 seconds remaining.
60 seconds on the clock for Arc Flash to do something. What is the ticket here? What is the ticket here for them to find this opening? Looks like we are going to get a swap. Real Rich going over to that Hanzo coming off of the Genji. Again, playing Genji without that Ana is just so difficult. We'll see if he can find an opening. I mean, playing a Hanzo into double shield is not easy, but at least you've got a little bit more shield break option, something to try to pressure it down.
30 seconds remaining.
Danny Defeato, 3 ultimates online, and so far doing a good job of keeping the pressure on, not allowing any space for Arc Flash to work here. Looks like Arc Flash going to go to the left side, and here they go, making their move, pouncing onto that high ground. Juan going down low. That Mercy desperately with that heal beam on, trying to keep him alive as the 2 tanks on the side of Arc Flash are right there. Meanwhile, on the back lines, the DPS of the offense able to find a kill, get an early lead. Now the Tracer moves in, gets the pill onto the main tank, and it is a 6v4, making it a 6v2 on the objective, and not a moment too soon as that overtime wick is starting to burn. We will get a point on the board here for Arc Flash.
Yeah, absolute nasty aggression coming from them there. And Lord Nay switching over to the Tracer, probably one of the best moves I think I've seen here in this match. We're going with the Shimada brothers now, coming from Arc Flash, and 2 minutes 52 seconds. They are already underneath the time of Danny DeFeato with that massive snowball coming in, and it looks like they're going to take one of the classic positions here, letting them come to them. And here we go, bang a gong, get it on. Here we go, point B.
I mean, Danny DeFeato with almost a full 6-pack of ultimates online as we speak, just 9% shy of that 6th and final ultimate. It's going to be tough. This is a tall order here for Arc Flash to try to break through this. We'll see how they choose to engage. Tyre comes out from the defense right at the get-go, as we can see John dropping that Primal Rage into the back line here for Arc Flash, trying to make something happen, trying to disrupt this bunker composition, but there's just too much damage. The bomb is out. Ghost Lemmy on the Junkrat, putting down the hurt, and that is not going to do it. Arc Flash will not find any success on this run.
No, and I think they only invested 3 ults there. They put Bob out there, they put the Tire out there, and then they went ahead and invested the Amplification Matrix. So now a couple of swaps coming out for the side of Danny DeFeato. Orange Cowboy swapping over to the Brigitte now. A little bit more brawly healing, as it were, coming in. So I think they're going to take the fight to them should they aggress on the point and have too much of a problem.
And if they decide to stay back and play passive, that Brig has the ability to protect that Mercy, protect those DPS from the dive DPS, or from at least the Tracer coming out from Wardnets. Juhan still with that super Tracer. Oh, and goes Slimy! Decides he's going to take matters in his own hands. He takes that out. We did Dragon coming through as well as Dramatic Flux, and it is going to be the Flux that finds success here on the side of the defense. Danny DeFeato striking right back, and look at in full control here. They're controlling positioning, they're controlling the pace, and with just 70 seconds on the clock, the reinforcements for Arc Flash are dwindling.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely crucial here from the side of Danny DeFeato. They're just swamping and swallowing down any comers onto the point. Man, that is clinical, how to prevent somebody from taking your point.
Yeah, they got mad. They got mad. This looks like a complete 180, flipping this thing on its head from our previous match. As the defense of Danny DeFeato, untouchable so far here on point B. And this is going to be final attack, one last chance here for Arc Flash to make something happen here and at least hold on for a tie. They've got Valkyrie online as well as Pulse Bomb. What's the approach? How do you think they're going to move in here on this thing, Billy?
You've got a shield. You've got to just dive. You've got to dive as a unit and get in there and decide who you're going after, because right now they're not going as a team.
Well, it looked like they were faking going onto the Mercy and then dove onto the McCree instead. Found that kill. The res is going to come through, but a little bit of a back and forth there in that feed. Now, defense is missing their Brig, so they are vulnerable to the dive tactic coming out from the other side. As we do have Real Rich had swapped over to that Doomfist. He should be making it back into the battle now. But is the Supercharger, the members of Danny DeFeato doing the work, cleaning up Ghost Slimy on that Junkrat, finding 2 picks. Orange Cowboy coming back into the fight, gets the last one as the overtime wick burns. I think the hopes of Arc Flash are going down. It is desperation time. Kills lighten up. No, they cannot make it back. Danny DeFeato hanging on, taking a 2-1 lead here in our preseason matchup.
Yeah, I mean, that was just clinical from Danny DeFeato there. I mean, looking at what they were dealing with, they almost lost the first point altogether. And, I think that something that I think they took into account there was the aggression and then the patience to wait, or Arc Flash to just aggress into them. I think that they were playing a passive defense there, and I think that actually worked that time.
Well, we'll see if they can take the win when we return. Danny DeFeato a match point. Y'all stick around for map 4. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Initiating match.
Well, welcome back, my friends. We are here with map number 4 of our CGL Season 7 preseason matchup. This one between Danny DeFeato and Arc Flash. I am Bull Skunk, joined here by ChefBilly in the booth. Danny DeFeato with a 2-1 lead. You think they're going to take it home here on Dorado, Billy?
I don't know. I mean, based upon what we just saw on the last map with Danny DeFeato flexing their it could be a 3-1 map or a match win here for Danny DeFeato. However, I think that Arc Flash Academy has shown a lot of flashes of brilliance, and they have actually, you know, they did win a map here. So I think that this one could go either way. I think that it could be a sniper battle, and you know, Red Eye Goat coming back in for Tragic on the off tank role. This could be a different set of circumstances for sure. Real Rich versus either Niche or Major or Zane on the Widowmaker. So I don't know. I think that they have every opportunity here to take a 3-1 victory.
Well, we are going to get a little bit of a pseudo sniper battle. As Rich is going to opt for that Hanzo. Zen on the Ash, and it does look like Arcflash bringing his little Bastion here on the offense. Perhaps running a little pirate ship on Dorado. With that,
I mean, it is the map for it.
It's not a bad map for it. It's not a bad map for it. Not as iconic a pirate ship map as Junkertown, but still definitely very workable. And it seems to have caught Danny Defeato slightly off guard, as in their attempt to try to retreat back, they all went in separate directions, and the kills are lighting up. Arcflash taking full advantage of the discombobulation and moving right on in here to the end of point A. Ooh, too late heroics coming through. I don't think it's going to be enough. Res onto the Bastion. This is going to be a point on the board for Arcflash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just nutty play there from Lord Naze. He just sprayed and spray, as I call Bastion mains. It's a spray and spray. You hope you hit your thing, you hope you knock them down enough, and you hope that they don't have enough sustain to get them out there. But Niche is still in their back line, just creating havoc with them.
He gets a kill onto the Hanzo there. Got chased out by Red Eye on the Erasa. Meanwhile, the rest of the front line and Danny Defeato staging up on the high ground, swapping over to some dive tanks here to try to deal with this pirate ship. They're gonna jump right on top of him, wasting zero time. Bastion forced to back out. He ate a good TNT, and the immortality field is forced out on the side of the defense.
Oh, Niche!
Danny Defeato! They say, what immortality field? We will not be stopped. That little lamp can just go bye-bye. Here comes the tire. 3 kills on the board.
You know, and he's going to go ahead and stick with it. And they have actually a lot more ults coming up online. They've got a Primal Rage about 2/3 of the way there. Zane is going to have contesting. Oh my goodness, that was a headshot and a half coming from Real Rich.
Now they will get that res up onto the high ground. And like you said, we are getting those swaps. Lord Naze going to be put behind there in the ult economy a little bit. But we do have Dragons online for the offense. Those Dragons are going to come out directly right over the front of the objective there. No kills for either team. I say that. Monkey goes down right as I open my mouth. Lord Naze finding that pick, just barely able to escape with his life. So that little sliver of health he had, that did not last long as the Mercy was distracted trying to get that res. A little back and forth, but it does look like Arcflash is in control here so far through Streets.
Yeah, I mean, through Streets here, I mean, they're showing again, you know, the Streets phase. It's almost similar, eerily similar to what happened on Blizzard World. I think this may be their style of map. You know, this may be a weakness right now for Danny Defeato. It may also be the strength of Arcflash Academy or Arcflash. So, you know, maybe compositional switches once again. I think, you know, putting the Bob out there is actually huge. Oh my goodness, that is an absolute killer right there.
I mean, Arcflash throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him. I mean, they used BAP's window. They used the Gravitic Flux. Supercharger came out during that. But they found success. And now we're getting swaps once again on the other side. Defense going over to a McCree Hanzo of their own and going back to the Sigma. So trying to mirror here a little bit. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I'm not quite sure what the thinking is behind the Sigma Winston. I feel like this is going to be a little discombobulated. The Winston trying to go in, and there's no one there to back him up. He just immediately dies.
Yep, I mean, I think they're actually puzzled right now. I don't think they have any idea of what to do right now. I think swapping to the Diva right now would be the play to play with the Sigma, or getting an Azari in there for a little bit of extra, shielding and healing. I mean, it's a bloodfest right now.
Well, and I think Monkey was trying to stall out a little bit before he swapped off of the character Monkey. No puns intended. Okay, maybe a little bit. But those swaps coming through way late, and the Orisa, now they don't have a chance to get their feet planted. That bunker cannot get set up, and that defense, I mean, you gotta have room, and you gotta have the position to get set up for that bunker to have success.
Yeah, Basic did a really good job of contesting there, and he actually, Zane actually comes in and gets a kill onto the Baptiste. So I mean, there's a chance for a stall here. They just got to get their butts out there.
Monkey out back on the ball as well. Hammond doing his darndest to stall long enough for the reinforcements to get into place, but they have an amplification matrix to worry about from the other side. And Real Rich on that Hanzo, landing the arrows right where they need to go and finding those kills. Their Orisa goes down. A shimmer of hope here for Danny Defeato. Can they stall long enough to get the rest of the team back here? Find some kills. Zin's going to drop. Basic goes down as the Gravitic Flux comes out on the side of the offense. But the stall continuing to come through. Doing a good job of at least eating some time off the clock at the very least. Well,
Oh my goodness. Then you drop a Deadeye into the mix and then it's all done.
and it's all done. 3:01 left in that time bank.
That is a lightning fast take there on Dorado. I don't think that Danny ever got their feet set. Once again, going through the streets phase, opting to go into a Bastion with a dive. I mean, it worked temporarily, but once they swapped off and went over to the McCree, I think that was the absolute oof. I think
Yeah.
they need to be more shielding for sure going on there.
Yeah, that McCree pushed them over the edge there. That definitely gave them the advantage they were looking for. It seemed to be hit the nail on the head. After that, Danny Defeato struggled to try to match the compositions, eventually settling for a mirror comp. But I think those swaps were too little too late.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too little too late. I just think the composition's there. And once again, it's preseason, so I mean, you know, no need to panic right now for anybody. I just think that it's time, you know, thinking about what they were going into. It seemed almost disjointed, frantic from Danny Defeato. That's not words that I usually use to describe Danny Defeato, especially with how long this team has been together.
Well, and just a reminder, this is mostly the same squad that won Tier 3 last year in Season 6 of our CGL multi-tier tournament. And now they have moved up in ranks, leveled up a bit, and they are here in Tier 4 trying to make their mark. And, you know, being preseason, maybe we're seeing some strategies out of Danny Defeato that they wouldn't normally run. You know, something a little bit more experimental, perhaps. The hero band's not doing them any favors either.
No, because I know that they are a massive Reinhardt-centric team. They love to run the Ryan Zarya. Nova is one of the best Zarya players that I've ever seen, and you know, personally, and him moving up to Tier 4, I've seen him play. So I'm so waiting for the first week of the season when the hero bands come through and the real tank line is going to come in.
Well, and Monkey, you picked up here in the off-season for Danny Defeato, playing the Orisa here for them now. You know, maybe that was Catfish King has a wonderful Reinhardt, known for putting the hammer down. Maybe Monkey is here to fill that void, you know, perhaps provide a stronger Orisa. I'm excited to see him. I think he's looking like a good addition to the team here so far. Minute off the clock. So far, Danny Defeato just struggling to push it around this first corner. Looks like they are coming up on a couple support ultimates, though. That might help them out.
Yeah, but also Lord Nathan is coming up on his Riptire. And as we saw last night, Riptires here lately have been absolutely brutal.
And here it comes, and it's going to go right into the choke. It only finds one kill, taking out the Lucio, the name of Basic. Nick and Zin trying to answer right back as they find 2 kills of his own. Zin does sacrifice himself in the process. Rez comes through onto the Orisa there for the attacking team. But John on the Sigma, coming up with 2 big picks, trying to shut down this assault. I think there might be a little opportunity here for Danny to strike, though.
Yeah, I mean, Nick is giving him all he can handle on the Widowmaker. He's actually running around, and he's got a Sigma chasing him.
Soundbarrier comes out from Danny Defeato. Reinforcements coming from the other side. Valk is there, but Nick snipes the Moth right out of the sky, putting bullet to dome there. Now we're going to get Supercharger coming out from the defense as they try to hold off this assault. The very back end of point A here. But I just see one lone Orisa here trying to make something happen. Baptiste there, throwing the Immortality Field in the mix, keeping him alive for just a little bit longer. We'll see if the Horse Hero is going to be able to stand tall. No! Despite an Immortality Field coming out, no, they're just throwing themselves onto the fire here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think he's going to want to have that Supercharger back unless he's swapping it over to a different hero, which it doesn't look like as of yet. You would want to have that Supercharger back for sure.
Not to mention that Baptiste amplification matrix. You know, I thought Red-Eyed Goat, you know, I was giving him props for, you know, giving it to the cause there. And then you got a super late amp matrix coming out from the Baptiste on the side of the defense. Yeah, nice headshot. Nick staying in full control. Showing who's alpha here on Dorado in the sniper battle, at least so far. So go ahead and throw some dragons into the mix.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a backside trickery coming into Zen, popping off once again on a different hero this time. He's on Hanzo. Dragons, and then a couple of headshots with Lucy and the Lucy Bro. They've got control here. They've got the moves.
Yeah, and they have Arc Flash pushed all the way back into the third objective. It's in! Lighting up the feed. Turns attention onto the Mercy. Doesn't quite get the Mercy. I think he thought he had that last arrow landed. He turned away. Didn't even look to see if it landed. Oh, man. Just slightly missed opportunity, but nevertheless, Danny Defeato in full control here on Streets phase. We'll see if we're going to get a recontest. Yeah, it looks like Arc Flash going to go up through this top left side. Try to come back in. Gravitic.
Oh, that's a big Gravitic Flux.
Yeah, Danny Defeato thrown it into the mix. Finds both supports! And there's no healers left standing. Oh, man. And that is going to be 2 points on the board here for Danny Defeato. And with a comparable time to what Arc Flash set up on their assault. What do you think? Could Danny Defeato match this final time? Can they snowball this thing home, Billy? Oh. Looks like Discord may have failed us here a little bit. That's okay. We're going to get the Widowmaker dropping those sights into the mix. Danny Defeato knowing exactly where that defense is going to be trying to attack from, where they're going to be trying to stage from. As we can see, a bit of a dive swap coming through. Real Rich going on over to the Genji, and they're going to just jump right to the backline, trying to put the pressure onto the supports of Danny Defeato. But Red Eye down to as low as 19 health, gets taken out by Zen. Credited with that final blow. Monkey finding the kill onto the Mercy as well. And it is Danny Defeato riding this momentum.
Oh, man, 3 minutes, 24 seconds on the time bank right now. And Matrix Nova is absolutely cleaning clocks here. Right now, Zen clicking heads on the Hanzo. They have got everything at their disposal right now.
And it is just a 11-second difference as we speak. Here comes the Winston to try to stall it out, see if they can give Arc Flash that larger time bank. Supercharger coming out from the offense, and it is Danny Defeato who manages to take it home, denying the contest. Now, of course, we did get that new update, so as you notice, both of those time banks went down. So anytime you are over 2 minutes now, both attacking teams will have their time adjusted to that 2-minute mark, trying to limit the extreme length of some of these attack rounds. So we'll have 2 minutes on the clock for Arc Flash, 2:06 for Danny Defeato.
Man, what a change of events right there from defense to offense for Danny Defeato. On the defense, they looked absolutely flaccid. And coming out on the defense, they looked fully ready to take on whatever was coming their way. Chain play, pretty good there coming from Danny Defeato, but I want to say right now, Zen, one of the off-season pickups for Danny Defeato, was absolutely smacking heads with his arrow. A couple of good dragons, even though, you know, he was securing kills with them nonetheless, even if it was only just one. Just playing havoc, giving the hell to the Mercy for the longest time there. So, you know, maybe follow those footsteps right there. Forget trying to be cutesy and just go in there for the win.
Well, and, I mean, you know, we meme about zoning ults, but those dragons are actually very, very good at displacing. And it seemed like Zen was doing a great job of catching the members of Arc Flash as they're trying to retreat and run away from the dragons. We saw it a couple times there in that last fight and in that last engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I expected, you know, a couple more kills coming out from them, but instead, what we saw was just disgusting play from them.
Truly.
I love it.
And here we go, Arc Flash trying to take up the mantle with the pirate ship once again. Arrows coming through, Storm Arrows finding that Bastion, forcing that res out, and Real Rich turning the tide the other way. Gets the punch onto Basic. So it is a one-man advantage here for the offense. Major Nova whittled down, not able to get that shield up in time. As Orisa running for his life now as the pressure coming through. XLT was off trying to res their other support. There were no heals available for the front line. Nick trying to strike back, finds a kill onto the Sigma, but they still have this Bastion in the back line to deal with. We'll see if Zen can find that opening.
Yeah, I mean, it was great play coming from there, and you know, they singled out their target, and it was just pretty smooth sailing from there. And you know, they're kind of getting their feet set right again. So this could be a definite little slugfest coming in here. 45 seconds left.
Danny Defeato seems to have this bunker comp downloaded. Dragon's going right over the top of the Bastion. Oh! And Nick putting one giant nail in the coffin there, at least for that attack round. Now, the good news for Arc Flash is since that happened so darn quickly, they will get one final stab at this thing. Ant Matrix with the Bastion. Will it be enough for them to pick up that elusive 4th point?
I don't know if it's enough.
Already their tanks are just below half. Healers there to keep them up. Great job of both of their healers. Ant Matrix there, and the Bastion dropping that tank ultimate into the mix. See if we can find anything. They're going to get Zen. They're going to get Basic. Nice shooting coming out of the Bastion. Far respectively. And with a 2-man advantage, they are pushing right over this thing. Gravitic Flux comes out from the defense, but I think Arc Flash may have this thing on lockdown. Danny Defeato might have a chance to contest here at the very end, though.
Right, and I think the res coming there on the end, backside from XLZ onto Niche. He's got to get on the point. He's got to get in there and see if he can contest just for a second. No.
Niche tried. And I mean, he was going exactly for what you were talking about there. Perhaps maybe should have waited, but who knows? I mean, maybe that's just a die-on-point situation. 93 to that tire. You know, he was just so close to that tire.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was trying to get that last little percentage point. And I think that's why they invested the Gravitic Flux there as well, trying to pull them off the point when the overtime wick was burning, hoping that it would get down fast enough, but they actually had somebody on the ground that was able to touch.
Well, we are in overtime with the extra innings. Of course, no more time added to that bank. And that means Arc Flash cannot step off of this objective, not even for a moment. Zen coming up with that early pick onto the Bastion. Res does come through. Supercharger coming out on the side of Arc Flash, and 2 kills light up that feed. Working past the Ant Matrix of the defense. It's not enough for them to stabilize. And this far, raining hell from above. Zen not able to find the shot, and it is real rich. Landing the rockets and keeping Arc Flash in this thing for at least one more fight.
Yeah, I mean, super play coming out from Real Rich. He actually got a couple of huge picks there. That supercharger kept them in that match because Niche came through and was ready to click heads, and he actually got zapped down by the Orisa.
Now we're going to get Dragons coming out, but that is the only ultimate online here for the defense. So they're going to be coming out here neutral, running into a barrage, running into yet another Ant Matrix. Top 500 Tender building those up so fast. So darn fast.
He's using them like candy.
He absolutely is, and with that, 5 points on the board for Arc Flash.
Definite change of events that we were not expecting here. Of course, any foot displacement off of this point, and it is the end of the round. Danny Defeato is going to have their hands full trying to get through the streets phase and everything else coming up on their against them. So basically, get them off the point. It's going to be a matter of inches, I have a feeling.
And it's Major Nova, 96% towards the Gravitic Flux. He alone has the ability to just pull them all up, and here it comes. Bastion take configuration. Can he get the Sigma? No. But he does find the Mercy, and he picks off the McCree. He's like, I'm not going to shoot that Sigma in the air. I've got these 2 squishies down here to shoot at. Now he's back in take configuration, does finally pick up that kill on a Major Nova. And Danny Defeato, no answer to this Bastion here. Arc Flash. Arc Flash dangerously close to having 6 points on the board here. Lord Nays continuing to light up that feed.
Yeah, it's just nasty. There's no answer for the Bastion. I'm shocked that they haven't done something to get in there, even with a Sombra.
Oh, phenomenal play coming out of this offense, right in this momentum. And that is 6 points on the board for Arc Flash, and looking really strong to tie us up and send us to that elusive map 5.
Oof, man. Big plays coming out for both teams, but the bigger plays coming out from Lord Nays on that Bastion. Zero answer from Danny Defeato. There was nothing they could do. Even if they did end up getting him down, they were saving that Mercy res for the Bastion because they knew that the Danny Defeato just didn't have an answer for them. And, you know, that's something they got to look into here is what are we going to do about Bastion? Because you've got to expect them coming out on the defense. You have to expect them.
And they were doing their darndest. Zen on that Hanzo, doing his darndest to try to find something, trying to find some opening there. But it was classic protect the president there on the side of Arc Flash, and those healers doing a great job of prioritizing keeping their team alive and topped off, as well as getting those reses in like you're talking about.
I'm telling you right now, top 500 Tender playing on that map right now. I think he got 5 amp matrices during this round, I think it was, and he was just using them. As soon as he got them, as soon as he had somebody in his sights, he was going to go ahead and letting it go.
I think he had more. He had the Ant Matrixes online quicker than the lamp, than the immortality fields. At least that's what it seemed. I'm sure that's not quite exact, but that's what it seemed from the eye test.
Yeah, the eye test, absolutely. I think you're right. I mean, obviously cooldowns being what they are, but I mean, he was getting him at a pretty fast clip. So
It was nutty.
You got to take him out first.
And now Arc Flash on the defense, bunking up on this high ground here, finding 2 quick picks early. And you know that's going to strike a blow in the confidence of Danny Defeato as they're looking to equalize the 3 points put up on the board in that amazing overtime run put up by Arc Flash here.
Yeah, I mean, right now, classic bunker, but they're giving progress to Danny Defeato on the bottom there.
Yeah, I think that rotation came out a little late. They do finally make it back around. But with no Lucio, it was a little bit slow, but their feet are planted. Danny Defeato not quite able to get up and close that distance quick enough.
Yeah, but Immortality Barrier down now, so now here comes the ingress. Oh, no.
Nick tried to find something through the top there, but gets taken out on the far. Rez will come through. Ooh, that was a brave Rez. That was a brave Rez. Just able to get that off, but here comes the tire. Zen goes down, and a one-man advantage for the defense here. Danny Defeato looking for answers on this first choke.
Yeah, and I mean, the shielding right now is just, they're running the double shield, and I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they are not doing anything to counter the Bastion, and the Bastion is absolutely melting them every time they try to step forward and aggress even more.
Well, here's that opportunity. They found the kill onto the Junkrat, and the res came through onto the Rat, so if they can pick off the Bastion here in the next 10 to 15 second window, there will not be res available. But it looks like their aggression had stalled out there a bit as they regroup to try to compose themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not doing bad. It's just, you know, they're not doing enough. Okay, Niche, now, here's a start.
Yeah, Niche does have
Big
the barrage online as well, focusing on the Bastion now as he's running them all the way back to that back mini. Has to turn around, put his attention back on the front line. Here comes a Griddick Flux. Oh, tries to throw Barrage into the mix, but gets nothing, and it does get wasted, that Barrage used. Nevertheless, Major Nova with a killer Gravitic Flux. And he's able to help Danny Defeato put that 4th port on the board.
Yeah, big time moves coming out from Major X Nova there. I really like that play coming from.
All right. Now, good news here for Danny Defeato. They do have those Dragons online. They do have a Sound Barrier online as well. On the side of the defense, we're going to look at a couple of damage ultimates coming out. They have Supercharger and Ant Matrix. So a lot of damage potential here to pour into that Bastion. We'll see if Danny Defeato can overcome.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of a high ground rotation coming here from the side of Arc Flash may catch Danny Defeato unawares.
Niche does have the eyes on the Honda. Okay, that halt just found him out as 4 or 5 members of Arc Flash were just picked up, lifted in the air, and scouted there by Danny Defeato.
Bit of a waste on the Dragons there.
I'd have to agree. Danny Defeato just content to kind of slow roll this thing underneath the bridge here. But you get a Gravitic Flux coming out on the side of the defense. Sound Barrier there from Basic. 1 kill coming through for both sides, 5v5. Left on the objective. Supercharger coming out from Danny Defeato as they look to put the hurt down on the high ground. Both Bastions coming up with kills onto the opposing Orisa. But it is Lord Nays finding that kill. Basic takes out the other Bastions. 3v3 left on the objective. We have a Hanzo to Lucio versus a Mercy. Oh, both Mercies go down. Oh, my goodness. This is just nutty play on the point. 2v2 left on the objective. Oh, but that defense respawn advantage starting to come through. Danny Defeato not quite able to find those kills in time. Ant Matrix there on the side of the defense. We'll see if Danny Defeato can get back here. Neither team really finding much success. What a crazy drawn-out finish here to this map. Are we going to a map 5? Danny Defeato a match point.
Oof.
Here comes the take configuration, and that's going to put the nail in the proverbial coffin. Map 5 it is. We'll see you in Busan.
Map 5 it is.
Woohoo!
Play of the game.
Holy cow. What an
Holy
extra innings
crap.
push there from Arc Flash. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yikes. I just lost my mouse control again. Christ.
Oh, no. All right. Well, we're going to find Billy's mouse. We'll be back with map 5 once we've located it. We hope to see you there. Don't go anywhere. Oh, welcome back to the CGL Multi-Tier Tournament Season 7. This preseason matchup between Danny Defeato and Arc Flash has gone the distance. We're headed to the tiebreaker Busan. Whew, what a match. What a match. Billy, it's up in the air. Who do you think is going to take it?
At this point, I honestly don't know. I think that both teams have a fighter's chance to go ahead and take it. That was stupid play from both teams going into overtime. We thought they got stalled out. We thought that BM coming out from Slimy with the nasty tire. I'm sorry, with Zen with the nasty tire. But it actually turned out into their favor. Lord Nay swapping over to the Bastion actually secured not only the first point, but the entire full 6 points on German. And show goes on. Speaking of shows, we are being treated to a very, very entertaining match tonight. We're here in the penultimate match on Busan, our tiebreaker. First time that we've seen it here in the preseason for us casting. I love Busan. I think it's one of the funner maps.
I agree. I love this map. I mean, all 3 points have a ton of variety. I mean, they do a pretty good job with it in most of the control maps, but I think they really hit it out of the park here with Busan.
Yeah, I think they nailed the pin in the head there for Busan. So, I love this. The Sanctuary is one of my favorite maps. I think Monkey and Orisa both work equally well here. So does Reinhardt, but of course he's not available right now.
We are getting the double shield composition from both sides, but we're getting Bastion Torb coming out of Arc Flash here to start us off on Sanctuary.
You.
Doomfist Symmetra and the DPS lineup putting the hurt down here for Danny Defeato. As Danny Defeato looking to get control first, they're getting the position, hoping that they can force the members of Arc Flash to have to make the first move.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing just that.
Yeah, hide behind that drum. Nice conservative positioning here. Just playing it safe. And they've already got control on the board. Arc Flash not able to get there in time to deny that first percentage. So now they are fighting against this clock. First kill comes through. It's going to be onto the Baptiste of Arc Flash, but they do find that res. Niche going through and finds the kill onto the Bastion. And here comes the aggression from Danny Defeato as they go full steam ahead and start cleaning this thing up. And they're going to be in control. Start us off at Sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, already 27% progress of the capture for the first point here in Busan. I think that they're gonna have to watch out for the turret of Real Rich. That was putting some work in. So yeah, a little bit different here. Lord Nay swapping off the Bastion though, going on to the Pharah. So that is a huge early change for Arc Flash. Dan DeVito, I think they may have unlocked the puzzle of the Bastion.
So far, I mean, we saw Danny DeVito looking really strong on our opening control map there on Nepal. It might just be a matter of the map type itself, although that far seems to be a good swap here so far as 2 kills coming through here for Arc Flash. They're going to go ahead and throw that Molten Core onto the objective. Ant Matrix out as well. The far to go down, but that res is going to come through. The Mercy pays for it, but I think the damage had been done, and this will be Arc Flash flipping this thing over.
Yeah, and it's 72% first capture progress for Danny DeVito. I think they may have wasted that gravitic flux from Major Nova. I know that he may have just been trying to get as much capture progress as he could, but some other good both support ultimates online for Danny DeVito. So this could be a very interesting ingress into the point.
We are getting some swaps that come off the Sim Doom, going over to the McCree Hanzo, looking for a lot more long-range poke damage here on the side of Danny DeVito as they try to come back in and take this point back. They're going to throw an amplification matrix down as they try to open up this engagement. Supercharger directly behind it as they are just looking to throw all the damage in, but it's Lord Nays with the barrage from behind, finds himself too. And then here comes the gravitic flux and Arc Flash finding the kills, finding success. Despite the best efforts of Niche there and Major Nova here on the side of Danny DeVito. Now, I say that. It looks like we have a 4v3 here on the objective. Major Nova on that Sigma, able to keep his team out in front.
Oh, man, that's a big pick coming in from Zen onto the Orisa of Cuba. Up at Ray. Oh, my gosh, this back and forth brawling action here on the point.
Yeah, Niche cleaning up. Niche and Zen. We're talking about the battle of the DPS duos. And so far, they're looking like they're getting the better end of this deal here on Sanctuary.
Yeah, and Zen came out very quickly, and he's already almost halfway to his dragons after just swapping. So that shows the amount of intensity that he was putting in on to Arc Flash. But positioning right now, you got to watch yourself there, Nick.
Ray Matrix coming out on the side of Arc Flash. They're looking to push back in here. Yet again, another swap coming out. Oh, as the Deadeye and the Gravitic Flux combo comes out from Danny Defeato, finds 2 kills. The Riz coming through onto the Torbjorn, but it is still a 2-man deficit here on the side of the defense. Now, with that said, Torb comes up with 2 big picks. But Burn Basic, the support duo from Danny Defeato, striking back. They said we lost our DPS. Meh, we don't need them. Hold my beer.
Basic hit per show. Hold my beer.
Said here, Zen, hold my beer.
Oh, Burn Basic go ahead and clutching out and keep getting the first point here in Busan. Bullskunk, better comps coming out from Dan DeFito here. They decided to go more long range, more pokey poke from long range. You can't touch me. You know, even the swap off of the Bastion onto the Pharah, you know, did end up getting 1 barrage, but I kind of question it a little bit.
Well, I mean, just the swaps were back and forth were incredible. So Arc Flash starting off with the Bastion, Danny DeFito stomp him with the Sim Doom. They make the swap over to the Pharah, get some kills, and take the point back. Danny DeFito swaps to the McCree Hanzo. Then we get on the other side, Lord Naze goes over to that Genji, and he is sticking with that Genji here as we move into downtown Busan. Nitch going over to the Ninja of his own. So we will get the Cyber Ninja duel going on here as we get into downtown. And it is Nitch drawing first blood, finds the kill onto the Winston of the other side. Zen on that Widowmaker finds a big pick as well. Juhan does go down, but it is still a 1-man advantage here for Danny DeFito. Both teams looking to get this first control started. Zen drops the hands of Tragic Event, but the res comes through for Danny DeFito. I think they still have a 1-man advantage here, if my math serves me correctly, and they're about to storm onto this objective. They're trying to put their attention onto that Diva. And but Lord Naze winning the Cyber Ninja duel. Nevertheless, on the front line, that tank duo of Danny DeFito doing some work. Oh, Basic getting the boop onto the Diva, and I think that's just going to be the ticket right there. Danny DeFito should be getting this thing started here.
Oh, but Juhan gets caught out up on top, kind of doing a little bit of a BM onto the Tracer, and he actually loses his life to Lucy, bro. This is going to be a quick recontest from Arc Flash. This could actually be a very quick flip if they don't play their cards right.
And they did exactly that. Arc Flash recognized the opportunity and recognized that Danny DeFito was down a few people on point, and they stormed it with a quickness. And they got this thing flipped right back only 19% here on the board for Danny.
I just want to say my favorite healer combo is out right now. They went to the Lucio Brigitte and look at the ult economy for them. Already 90% to that rally. That's going to keep her tanks super armored, super healed.
Juhan moving in, finding himself in cleave damage, took a lot of damage, was forced to back out. Real Rich is going to throw a Diva Bomb a Pulse Bomb into the mix. Oh, and Juhan cannot survive the onslaught, as the rest of his team did not get the memo. And we were forced back, Juhan on his own. And that's Arc Flash hanging on here. Looking to tie us up here on Busan.
Yeah, and I mean, they only invested the 2 DPS ults there. So I've still got 4 online right now. They've got both support, both tanks online. On the other side, though, Dan DeFito has some tools to work with. This could be a very nasty contest here. Just going to see who can sustain longer in these fights.
Yeah, this is going to be an old extravaganza. 4 on each side, ready to go. Zen making the swap over to the McCree, trying to put some more distance damage down. Finds the D-Mech, the bomb coming out to try to get back into mech there for Arc Flash. That forces it into a bad position. Tracer picking up that kill. John dropping his Primal Rage onto the objective. It's a 2-man advantage here for Arc Flash on the point. 68% and counting. I think we need to get a quick reset out of Danny here if they want one more fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Zen has actually swapped 3 times now in this match, and I don't think that he's staying on a hero long enough for him to get any kind of ult charge. And I'm not sure if he's trying to get in there and get one pick and one and done and then head back out. But yeah, the swaps are coming a little bit too fast and furious this time for the side of Danny DeFito.
Well, a bunch of ultimates spent. Just Pulse Bomb online in the server at the moment. That's going to come out early. Oh! And is stuck to the back of the Mercy of Danny DeFito. Nevertheless, they're going to push in, but Juhan goes down, finding a kill onto Brig, but they lose their Doom Fist. 5v3 here favoring Arc Flash on the point. Overtime Wick is burning. We're going to get that blade coming out from the Genji, cleaning this thing up. And I think we're headed to Mecha Base here. Pending some stall coming through from Danny DeFito.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are heading there right now. Johan is absolutely trying to stall out as long as he can. I just don't think there's enough in the tank for them. There's too much sustain, too much coordination on the point, and there it is, 1-1. Here in Busan, we are going to the penultimate point, the penultimate map, 2-2 and 2-2 in our score. Oh my goodness, it's all the marbles right here.
One
Here
round.
at Base.
One
round.
round. Decided
One
on.
round to rule them all.
I don't know about you, Billy, but these are my favorite games of Overwatch, man. I mean, just map 1, Danny Defeato. Map 2, Arc Flash. Map 3, Danny Defeato. Map 4, Arc Flash. And here we are, tiebreaker map. First round goes to Danny. Second round goes to Arc. I mean, it just couldn't be any tighter of a matchup here today.
Absolutely not, you know, and I gotta say, this map favors Danny Defeato a little bit. But if Lord Nays does what he just did on Genji to the rest of the team, and Real Rich lands pulse bombs like he just did, this is going to be a very quick match.
Well, they're gonna have to deal with this dive composition, and deal with it so far they have, finding that first kill onto the Winston. And obviously that main tank, a very important pick. Danny Defeato now settling to retreat back to the objective, see if they can get that thing opened up. Of course, it's easier to defend than it is to attack. And they just want to get their feet planted and get behind those shields.
Yeah, and I think...
Ooh! Nice coordinated dive. Start things off here for Arc Flash as they pounce onto Niche. Bird drops shortly thereafter. Zen finding a pick onto that Genji. But it is an all-out slugfest here on the objective. Kills being traded back and forth. 4v3 here on the point, favoring Arc Flash, and they will get this thing flipped over.
Man, he's barely holding on. He's barely holding on.
Yeah, Danny Defeato trying to buy as much time as they could.
Yeah, I mean, ult economy right now looking very, very sturdy on both sides. I mean, the egress into point from both teams, they're not holding back any punches, I don't think, anymore. This is an all-out slugfest.
All right. We do have, I mean, just 0 ults on the board. We're pretty neutral here with teams coming back in. Niche will be coming up on that Deadeye. There we go. Good, nice halt. Holy cow, what a great halt. Major Nova able to get some damage in, and not quite finding that final blow. As they're looking to pepper down here from the high ground. Oh, but John on the Winston dives in, finds the kill onto that healer. I think the break had dropped down low, perhaps, and separated from the rest of the main tanks. Either way, this is going to be Arc Flash holding on here. 43% on the board and counting.
Oof, a little bit of an ego move there coming from Tragic Event onto Zen. A little bit of a booty wiggle over the top of his corpse. Yeah, I mean, they've got ultimates coming online. Both sides, you know, this could be an ult fest at any point.
Yeah, no doubt. 4 of them here for both teams. 66% on the board here for Arc Flash as Danny Defeato trying to come back. And good opening pick. They're going to find the kill onto both the Brig and to the Genji. And now the entirety of their team focusing down that Winston. And Danny Defeato looked like they had enough as they come in and looking very decisive on that engagement. And they're going to get this thing back.
Yeah, they just got to take care of the last contest on the point.
And buying time, Arc Flash is trying to do, see if they can get us into one-fight territory. 87% is what they'll end up with.
Yeah, and it looks like they got, let's see, they got both. Oh man, it's 5-4 in the ult economy department. The only thing that's not online is both rallies from the dueling Brigittas. However, Lucy Bro does have his beat drop available online to him, and you know, bomb is going to be a big play here unless the shielding's there.
We're going to open up with a Meteor Strike coming out from Danny Defeato. That's going to find one. Gravitic Flux to follow that up. Didn't seem to get much with the Flux. And the Monkey's going to dive in and find himself one. Now, Winston dropping that rage. He's going into the backline, trying to separate the members of Danny Defeato, and it looks like they're finding success. Oh, and while separated, the bomb finds 2. They're going to get this thing flipped. Can Danny get back to touch? 90% and counting. This is it just for all the marbles. If Arc Flash can get this up, they take this match. 95. Danny onto the Wrecking Ball. Can they make it onto the point? All right, they do get the touch. Yes. Overtime work is a burden. 1 kill lit up for each team. 5v5 here on the objective. 2 more kills coming through. But there's no more healers standing here for Danny Defeato. They're going to have to beat this thing without any more heals left. Deadeye comes out, gets the D-Mech, and the subsequent kill onto the D.Va. Tracer finds a kill, goes down. Nitch up onto the high ground with the McCree, and Zin finds a kill as well. I think Danny Defeato might live to fight another round.
Oh no, here comes the bastard back out.
Oh, they take care of it. They take care of it. Danny Defeato holds on with 99% on the opposition. They get this thing flipped over.
Yeah, I think Burr, they're having to pop that, having to pop the rally to keep the people up because of the swap over to the Bastion from Lord Nays. Again, just mowing down Danny Defeato. This is back and forth. We are going to go into overtime with it possibly being 99-99. It doesn't get any closer than this, ladies and gentlemen.
It doesn't get any better than this, my friends. This is top tier Overwatch. Here we go. Rally use on the side of the defense. Attacks coming in. Tracer going into the back line. Look for something up top. No, gets taken out. Nick finding that kill, and that pulse bomb was in her pocket. Overtime Wickens Barn in 99-99. Winner of this fight wins this match. Salvator comes out from Danny Defeato. Meteor strike there as well. And it does look like at the twilight hour, Nick throwing in a Deadeye just for good measure. Overtime Wick is burning. Danny Defeato will take it.
Danny Defeato is, whoa!
Woo! It doesn't get any closer than that.
I need a drink. Oh my word!
It does not get any closer than that. I mean, I got to catch my breath too. Holy cow!
Woo! Big plays coming out from the Brigida for the side of Arc Flash Academy. Just look at the flailing. Look at the damage going in there. I mean, he just was laying into Danny Defeato. There was no stopping him. You know, the seemed to stop him was the flashbang coming from Nitch. Whoo! My goodness.
An absolute nail biter here today. In the end, it is Danny Defeato taking it. Your final 3-2. I mean, with just 1% separating these two teams, I think this might be a rivalry in the making. What do you think, Billy?
I absolutely think so. I'm looking at the chat right now inside of our Discord. Both teams saying, wow, GG's. Yeah, absolutely. That was a hell of a match. Yeah, this could be a new rivalry here. And this is just the preseason, ladies and gentlemen.
Just preseason.
This isn't even like all full sweat mode yet. So, you know, I think that yeah, this could get even better. Could get even better.
Could get even better. Well, that is going to do it for us here, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Really appreciate all the support from around the community. Supporting console Overwatch, it's just an amazing thing, and it means the world to us here. So thank you so much. Billy, thank you as always for joining me in the booth.
Absolutely. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed myself tonight. And everybody, make sure you wash your hands. I'm a chef. Wash your hands, please.
That's going to do it. Danny Defeato, once again, your victors 3-2. Well, my name's Bullskunk. This has been ChefBilly bringing you this action. Y'all remember to look out for each other in-game and out, as always. And we will see you right here tomorrow night for some more T4 action. Have a great night, everybody.